What's going on, guys?
Hey, hey.
Hey, we're back, and it's us,
Yeah.
Love Unscripted, and
Who
so
who is us?
us is Wilbert Williams and my lovely wife Ramona
Oh, yeah.
Williams, and so we're back with um, you know, a purposeful
Yeah.
uh, video that we see that there's a need for.
Yeah.
And so we just want to continue to move as as we're led by the Spirit, and just
Yes, right. Yes.
and do this because there's a need.
Yeah.
There's just a need. And so we just want to say um, this is us
Yeah.
letting go of us, letting go of you and embracing us.
Yeah. Letting go of you and embracing us.
Us. Embracing us. I'd like to say just a perspective to
Uh-huh.
couples. Um, just just remember that there's no perfect marriage. There's no
Yeah.
perfect covenant. There's no perfect relationship because people are people,
Yeah.
and in that we're human. But
Go
love,
figure. Human, huh?
but how many? I'm sure a number of you will agree that love conquers all,
Right.
and that true love. It's not just verbiage. It's just not just
Oh, you
saying it
said something.
just to be saying it.
Mm-hmm.
It's true love because you find that there's so much life in love when you are real about it.
Life and love.
You know,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
there's so much giving. There's so much caring, so much support, so
Yeah.
much enjoyment
Mm-hmm.
when it's real love.
Mm-hmm.
And so, one of the things that, um, and I know I'm talking a lot, but I just want to give my take, and man, please listen. Um, I'm speaking to the brothers out there that are sitting beside that beautiful queen of theirs, and having having these 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 concerns in this day and time. Um, that love is it, man. Love is it. And with that, I'm gonna pass it over just to my wife for a second, because we just want to be real. We just want to be real.
Hey, but I love that you just kind of led with the idea of love, and um I think with love comes actions, right? It
Mm.
it comes actions, and I think that's where we get into the letting go of you, embracing us. It gives you the opportunity to do that. You know, see your relationship as an opportunity, like you said, to give to that person, give to your husband, give to your wife in an act of love. And
Mm.
in an act of love. And there is something about the power of love, especially in an act, that helps to sustain your relationship. And I wanted to, last week, I had this whole thought and I started going down this track and I forgot what my thought was. And thanks to the hubby, the thought came back to me, and it was centered around the idea of a dialogue room. Um, One of the other things, don't babe, do not let me forget to mention that.
Okay.
But one of the other things that I also talked about was the idea of going to marriage counseling. Like, that is something that we subscribe to. We were doing it prior to being married, and we've committed to continuing to go just to fortify our marriage and our relationship, our covenant with each other. And in going, we have learned so much,
Mm-hmm.
so many valuable things that just support our marriage. Like it helped to build a strong foundation because you know you as an individual, right?
Oh yeah.
You know you've done you for however many years, and I mean I was 42,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
I was 42 when we got married. That was my first time ever being married. So that means I did me for so long. You know, I knew how to be Ramona, and that came with, um, how can I say, that came with just focusing on me. And then when we got married, and the same thing for my husband, right? So then we get married, then the idea now is that we have to focus on each other, so embracing each other. So, with all of that being said, the idea of going to counseling, we subscribe to it. We think that everybody, anyone who is thinking about being in a relationship, should go to counseling. The perspective that you get is very eye opening and necessary. All
Yeah.
right, so ooh, I just said a lot.
It's okay.
And so I'll jump in really quickly and talk about the dialogue room, and then, but you can, you know, shed some more light on the situation.
Mm.
One of the things that we learn in the dialogue or about the dialogue room, it is just that it's dialogue. Okay, it is the opportunity for the each spouse to talk. You know, and
Talk.
talk right. Can we say that
Talk.
again? Talk. And
Can we just talk?
can we just talk? I don't know where this song is going. But you know, it's an opportunity for the two of you to talk. And what's the main thing that you have to leave out, babe, whenever you go into the dialogue room?
Feelings.
We are gonna sing tonight, okay? Yes, you
Leave
have
out all of your feelings.
Yeah, you go into the dialogue room with the purpose to discuss a topic, and it could be something that it's just, you know, you want to give praise, you want to thank your wife, your husband, show appreciation, you know, something that's going really really well, or it could be quite the opposite. You want to kind of take it from there?
Yeah, it could be something that, you know, a concern of yours, a genuine
Yeah.
concern for the two of you. You know, something that troubled you as a spouse that you want to relate to your spouse.
Yeah.
That you are uncertain on how to go about it, but you know it just has to be said because it's something that you're holding in, and you don't need to hold anything in from your spouse. Let me tell you that, because that all it does is corrupts you on the inside. But what the dialogue room allows you to do is to be open, vulnerable, and honest, and upfront.
Open, vulnerable,
and honest. Yeah, and upfront.
And upfront
with what your concerns are.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes two to do that.
Ooh,
takes
yes,
two.
It takes two.
Takes
That's
two.
Super important.
Takes two. Takes two. And what that does is that allows you to disclose those thoughts, those concerns, those questions, without a risk of going into an argument.
Yeah.
It's, you know, not every disagreement has to become an argument.
Right. That's good.
In the dialogue, not every disagreement has to become an argument.
How about, I don't think disagreements have to become an argument.
That's right.
And that's one of the things that the dialogue room really, really helps you to do. It helps
absolutely.
you to keep things here.
Yeah.
You know.
Level.
Instead of doing this right here.
Level instead of
all
of
we
this.
We know what happens. We know what happens when things start going in that direction. Mm-hmm. It, you know, it might not end up well.
Right. And so the dialogue room gives you a chance to listen and express without feelings.
Yeah.
And one of the key things about that is that once it's all said and done, and it's work, it's practice. You've got to practice it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
That whenever you're done, you leave it there. you leave it there.
Yeah.
You talk about it, you talk it out without feelings, you hear each other honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that in that dialogue room that you're going to agree,
Right.
but it means that you get to say or have your say
Right.
without emotions, without feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you step away from that dialogue room,
Right.
you go back to love. You go back to caring. You go back to enjoying each other. But at least there's a platform where you can be open and honest.
Yeah.
And upfront.
Yeah. Can I say this too? You know, that you said once you finish with the dialogue room, you go back to loving. It's important to, if I can say this, to actually continue to love. So I don't want it to sound like, okay, you go in here and you are ready to give it to the person without the feelings being, no. It is, you are going in with the intention on having a conversation that is going to benefit your relationship. And so when you go in, thanks, right?
Mm-hmm. Well said.
So when you go into this dialogue room, you go in with love. Ooh.
Yes.
Yes, because you have to know that the words that you choose to use in your dialogue room are important. If they are rooted in love, it's going to allow the conversation that you're having to happen. Like, it's difficult to have a conversation with someone, even if you love them and you've been married for however many years, or you just got married, and you feel like they're being rude or disrespectful to you. But go into that thing with love. Go into it with intention. So my intentions are that I am going to be able to be vulnerable with you, be naked with you.
Come on.
And share what the issue is, or share what the joy is with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we walk out of it, we are better on the other end. And babe, did we mention being consistent with it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to be consistent.
Yeah.
You have to practice it. Now, it's not a literal room. Just saying, I don't want everybody to think it's not a place where you go into a closet and close the door behind you. So, but it's literally a place and time that you set aside to have this openness and truth coming forth, or forthcoming truth to be able to free yourself, and as a couple, and have that level, that balanced communication, and it's not like this or it's not like this.
Look, you haven't even said anything in the last 10 seconds, but everybody knows what you're talking about, the this and the at each other. Because that can be so real in a relationship. So it's not a room that you go into. It is a, hey, babe, I think we need to have a dialogue room moment.
Exactly.
And you just already know that when you go into the experience, you go into it with can I say this, timing. The timing of it is important too.
Good.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The timing is important because you don't want to do it during a time where, if it's something that can be intense, you don't want to do it when, that tenseness is high.
Correct.
You want to do it when you can go in and do it with a level mind, and that your emotions and your feelings behind whatever the situation is, you're able to temper them and move forward. And I think you mentioned practice.
Mm-hmm.
It does take practice. It takes being intentional about it.
It works.
It
really works.
It works.
People, listen, it works.
It works.
Yeah.
And being intentional about it, and you really get to a point where, because we would always have conversation every single day we get home. There are two places we have conversation. One we'll talk about now. One we'll talk about when y'all get to know us a little bit more. But whenever the other person would get home from work, we would stand in the kitchen and just download about our day.
Yes.
We would have those conversations and what annoyed us and what was great about our day, and what lessons we learned, whatever it was. Standing in the kitchen maybe 15-20 minutes, and then
Right.
we go get ready to work out or whatever it is that we're about to do. However, and so I think we have very good communication. I believe our
Yeah, we do.
communication is good.
Mm-hmm.
Adding the dialogue room was like putting the what on top of the
Icing.
The icing
On the cake.
on the cake.
Yeah.
Is that what I was saying?
I don't know.
That'll work. You get
Yeah.
what we're saying, the icing on the cake. Because those moments sometimes when you don't want to talk, or those moments when you're just like, you know what, I'm mad at you, whatever, or whatever it is, you just say nope. We're not going to go there. We're not going to let feelings or emotions fester. And that was something that I, as a woman, had to practice. I had to. Babe.
Okay.
So, look, that was something.
We're just real.
Ooh, the Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that was really something that I had to practice because, I could be, I have a whole bunch of emotions going on with myself or, around a situation. And so I had to practice, once we got into a dialogue room or even just getting into the dialogue room, not letting my thoughts and emotions fester to the point where I'm like, just however, not wanting to talk or, whatever I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
It was yes, we have good communication, but in those moments where I was used to, just being one and the only person I had to deal with as far as emotions and feelings was myself, I had to now figure out how, when things come up with my husband, how am I going to deal with those emotions? And so what the dialogue room helped to do is, okay, yes, Ramona, you can have all your feelings and all your emotions that you have. But what you are going to figure out how to do is how to regulate those suckers so you can come into the dialogue room, have a conversation, leave out, everybody's good to go, and we're not wasting 2-3 days of cuddle time and love time and, being all up under each other time.
Say that.
Say it.
Say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't go into the dialogue room barking. No. No. You don't go in there yelling.
Yeah.
You just go in there to state state the facts.
Mm-hmm.
State what's on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not yelling across the room or anything like that.
Right.
It's a casual conversation.
Yeah.
Just like what we're having with you.
Yeah.
And just talk.
Yeah.
Just talk. And you can say the same thing talking as you could have yelling.
Ooh, my husband. Say that one more time, babe.
You can say the same thing talking as you could have yelling.
And the difference is the outcome.
Yes.
Because when we talk and have a conversation about it, we can move forward.
You can just
but when we're yelling and fussing at each other over something that, could be so trivial.
Very.
I mean, you don't get that progress. And as we know, we've been seeing almost in this last year, moments are precious. Time with the one that you love is precious. Like if you have love, I think I mentioned this last time. If you have love, like love hard and hold on to that person. Like come closer. Babe, what's the you want to suffocate the air between you, like suffocate that air, come close. And just yelling and screaming at each other and fussing over. I don't care what it is about. Use that opportunity to just come closer to each other and have I honestly, y'all, our conversations are like this.
I like this.
Like this.
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally.
And you know what? I can say, depending on the situation, it may be, I'm going to just be honest with y'all. Because I might just be like, as we are having our dialogue room moment, I'm having to, like, my emotions, like I said, temper them so that I can hear what my husband is saying. And the longer you're in the dialogue room, you start to figure out, okay, let me just get my whole act together and listen to what he's saying and being able to share.
Yeah.
And it really does have an impact.
And I know we're spending some time on this, but if you genuinely practice the dialogue room, it adds so much more value to your understanding of each other, to your, realizing, this is important, how important certain things are to your spouse that you may have just thought, oh, that's no big deal, but to your spouse it is. But when you learn that in a dialogue room. You learn that through that, and you learn it through practicing that. This may be another conversation topic later on, but you should study your spouse. Study your spouse. Learn their likes and dislikes and their ways, and just understand them, because that's a plus too. That's something that maybe it's some other time we could talk about it, but we just wanted to spend time on the dialogue room, because that's a place where you'll find it'll buy back so much time. It'll give you back so many moments that several times, or I don't know how to say it, but I'm just being straight. You'll lose over yelling and sitting on the sidelines, pointing fingers and bickering. The dialogue room gives you back that opportunity to just talk, love, and move forward. Yeah. This is helping you, because it worked for us. Letting go of you and embracing us. We're no longer two, but one.
Let me bring my.
No longer two, but one. Letting go of you and embracing us. Telling you that dialogue room, it's key in that. It's key in oneness. It's key in unity. It's key in you staying unified in this covenant. And I just want to say, just practice it. Work through it. Follow through.
That was one of the. We had an amazing conversation with Champ, aka Mr. Raymond Pierre. My dad posts our video, and he gave us an amazing list of things that you should have, well, more should, right? In your relationship. And I wish I would have had the list right here, but we'll make sure we bring the list out again in one of the other videos. But like communication was one.
It's a big part.
It's a huge part of making sure that your marriage continues to evolve. And let me say this before we close. A lot of things that we may be saying tonight, it's not new to you. It's not new. You're not like, didn't know that.
That's a good point, man.
But sometimes what we do is life becomes so involved. We get so involved in life and the things that we have to do that we forget to make them a point or a priority in our lives. So being able to communicate with your spouse on a level that shows respect to them is one of those things that is super important. It's super important. And so what we're just doing is sharing what we do, what has worked for us that we believe is something that every couple should do, in our opinion. But then we are putting it as a reminder. Like, if you're not doing it, here is a way. Here is a way to open those lines of communication back up again. And here is a way to say, oh, yes, babe, remember when we used to have conversations with each other that were rooted in love, that allowed us to learn about each other, grow, and then, just move on, move forward. So we know it's not brand new, right? But it's something that is necessary, that we felt like it was important to mention.
I mean, it's not a perfect science, but it is beneficial.
It's beneficial.
It is beneficial, and it works.
Yeah. So before we go, we want to speak into your life, because this is about purpose. At the end of the day, whoever sees this video, we know it's not by accident. We know that if you are viewing this video, it is because something, God has led you to this place. Either you need it or someone needs it. And so we just speak life into your marriage. We speak life into your household.
Yes.
We speak peace and oneness and unity.
Yes.
We speak love. We speak amazing communication.
Right.
Amazing, whatever it is that you need for your marriage that maybe you have had and lost, or you just want get the flames going again. Whatever it is that you need, we speak that into your life. And, we just know it will be.
Yes, indeed. We give glory to the Most High God.
Yes.
He's first in our lives.
Yeah.
And that's important. You've got to have that hope. You got to have that support, that go-to person, and that's the Heavenly Father.
Amen.
And it's such a blessing, and He's that glue. He's that which binds us together.
Yeah. Yes.
And so that's key. I have to tell you, that's key.
Yeah.
And we just want to thank you once again for allowing us into your day, and listening. And hopefully we've shared something with you tonight that you can apply to your lives, that's going to be beneficial to you.
Yeah.
And that's all we're doing. We're just sharing our hearts and sharing what works for us and sharing what God has given us.
Yeah.
We're just giving it back. He gave it to us. We're giving it back. So, again, glory to the Most High God. Hope to you all. Hope to you all.
All right.
No longer two, but one.
Hey, baby. I love you.
You.
Oh.
Bye, guys.